But you did an early start, Andy, to the
Dave,
recording.
I'm off, man. I'm
Yeah,
off this morning. It's already chaotic in my house.
yeah, premature initiation. I don't know how that
I'll,
works.
I'll be seeing a doctor about it.
Yeah, probably. Hey, I saw a doctor on Friday. Okay, so my shoulder's been messed up for a little while now. Like,
Yeah,
so I've had torn rotator cuffs from my time in the army, and I've lived with it for a while. Well, in like October, it really fucked up somehow. Like, I don't know what happened, but I mean, I was helping with setting up tables and stuff, but it really screwed me up. So I finally go to the doctor. He's like, let me set you up with some PT. So I go to my first physical therapy session, and this guy does this thing with a needle. He pokes a needle, like he's testing out. He's like, look, rotator cuffs, like shoulders just suck. You're going to be like, they just get worse every year. But let's see if we can figure out this pain. Because I was having trouble sleeping. I couldn't, it felt like I had a dead arm.
yeah.
So he puts this needle in and he pokes around at where he feels like the pain is, like where's the pain emanating from. And I have
Sounds
to
fun.
tell you, I feel like I have a brand new arm. My
Really?
shoulder feels amazing. Um, there's still a little discomfort, but man, this is like just a little needle punctures on the side. I was like, I feel amazing. It's
That's
great.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think you know, there's something to that, right? Acupuncturists, that's what they do, right? They use needle therapy a lot of time, and people love it. People love it. My kids have done it. They have with injuries, and I'm glad you're feeling better this morning.
Yeah, it feels like I feel great now. It gave me some exercises to do too, and I'll figure that out. But it was good. So.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You're a young man again.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm definitely I don't know about that, but I'm getting somewhere. Okay, Andy, let's start off on our sessions this morning.
All right.
Speaking of sessions, I'm starting my clock here, Andy. So
All
we'll
right.
go with the Grammys, Andy. The Grammys were last night.
Yes.
First question, do you care?
So it's not that I don't care, right? I think every industry should have awards and celebrations and recognition for one's, the best of the year, and I think it's great. I just don't care to be subjected to watching it. Like I don't care about your celebration. You enjoy your celebration, right? I don't care about NFL honors. I don't care about the Grammys. I don't care about the Emmys. I don't care about some random kid's sports celebration. They can enjoy it, celebrate. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to care about this. I used to want to see like the acts on
Yeah.
because this is like the time when you get to see your favorite band or something because it wasn't as plentiful. Well, now with you, like I can stream if I wanted to see a U2 concert, I could stream any number of people who've uploaded something to YouTube. And
Yeah.
so that's not so
Not so
crazy.
rare.
It's not so rare anymore. I guess I think that's part of like as this information has become so available and as stuff is so freely shared,
Yeah.
it's I think some things are just maybe not so special anymore. But yeah, I didn't even until you pinged me last night. I didn't even know the Grammys were last night. I mean, I kind of knew it was close, but not really no. But if we did care, Andy. Beyonce did win
Yeah.
her album of the year. In fact, she won album of the year, and then she also won country album of the year
Yeah.
for her latest venture. This is remarkable because she's the most celebrated. She's won more Grammys, I think, than just about anybody else.
And
Uh,
99 nominations, which is more than anybody else, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think she's in the 30s for wins and such. I mean, her career goes back 25 years. She was with Destiny's Child. I think that was when she had her first Grammy nominee, but it had long eluded her for all these years. And here she goes. She gets a bounce. Are you a Beyonce fan? Are you? Oh,
I'm not, I mean, like, I listened to the Cowboy Carter album because my wife enjoyed it, so I heard some of the songs. I thought it was all right, but I don't get the country. I mean, but I think Beyonce, like, I mean, I enjoy some of the old Destiny's Child songs. I mean, some of her early songs I enjoyed too. I think it's, what I really appreciate about her, I think, is her ability to, like what genre is Beyonce, right? Is
yeah.
it started is this R&B? Is it hip hop? Is it pop? Is it now country? I think that's awesome, right? The fact that she can say, hey, look, I can do whatever the hell I want and be awesome at it. Like that's awesome, right? So I mean, I don't sit
Yeah.
there and listen to Beyonce routinely, but to appreciate and respect her as an artist, I think it's phenomenal. I mean, whether she's out there at the Super Bowl you went to, Dave, right, and like rock and roll looking leather garb, stomping and mashing and being wild and crazy, or riding along with a cowboy hat, it's like who is this woman? Like what is she doing? What can't she do? I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because I bet if you like look, I mean, I there's probably a Beyonce song that plays for everybody. Like somebody probably like alive now probably has a Beyonce song that like, oh yeah, I like that music because I think that's fair. Like what exactly genre is she? And I think the reality is she just makes good music and it appeals to wider people. I think in that way she's a little different than Taylor Swift, who I think a lot. And look, I was as big of a Swiftie as I am. If you go over all the albums, there's a lot that sound repetitive,
Yeah.
and it plays to a pretty specific group of people. Now, like her music is good. Taylor Swift's music is obviously very good. Um, but I would venture to say Beyonce has probably a wider arsenal of music. I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't really done the examination on it though, Andy. Yeah.
Man, I love that, right? We're talking about artists coming together and mashing up their genres, and doing something fun together where you're hearing an artist that has one, it's a rap artist and it's a rock artist coming together, or you see like, like Miley Cyrus coming together with Metallica to do a cover of a song. Like I love it when artists do that and just change what you're expecting and change what you know from them. When an artist can do that on their own and just be all over the place and do it well, I think it's even cooler. I mean, it just shows their capability as a performer. So I think it is really cool. I think it's really fun. And so that's fun. And you mentioned the live shows. Like that is one thing that's cool about the Grammys, I think, is seeing artists perform something big and grand, taking a song that you know and doing it differently. Or again, going back to Metallica, when Metallica played at the Grammys, it was like this crazy thing that a metal band was playing at the Grammys. Like heavy metal has arrived and is legitimate. For things like that, I think those award shows really are cool. I think just now, Dave, as I'm in my late 40s, I just don't care. Like I've got other things to do for 3 hours or whatever it is. But I think it is pretty cool. It is pretty fun. Again, like they should celebrate one another. You know what I mean? Like that's worth celebrating. They're doing great things and making great music, entertaining us all. So I'm glad they got a chance to do it. And I think being out there in LA doing it on the back of the LA fires and being able to recognize that, and for artists who typically advocate for I'd say broader perspectives at a time when a lot of things that have been advancing for years are under assault from certain parts of the country, and certain leaders are ratcheting up their rhetoric. I think it's good to have artists, speak and have a voice that is saying, "Hey, maybe not so fast. Maybe we shouldn't start turning on hate cannons on trans people. You know what I mean? Like maybe we should love one another. Like those are good messages, and it was good to see that coming out of LA yesterday.
Fuck loving one another, Andy. I'm all
I
about.
know, I know, I know. What are you thinking, Lady Gaga? What are you
I,
thinking?
I know. To that point, though, Andy, they did raise, I think it was about $7 million for
Yeah,
the firefighters. This is on the back of that fire aid concert we were talking about on Friday
yeah.
that raised, I think, 15 million and then was matched by Steve Ballmer. So good for him and all those folks. So yeah, just a good Grammys note. Now, I will say I'll probably be more attentive to the Oscars when they come out. I do like movies. I'll talk about a movie here at the end, but anyways, let's go to our next topic, Andy.
Yeah.
And this was an ex, I guess a pre-experience to what's our life is going to be like after next weekend. No NFL football this weekend, Andy. I don't count the Pro Bowl. That was whatever the fuck that happens is, whatever they do for the Pro Bowl type of activities. But how'd you cope this weekend, Andy?
Dave, like we were talking about a little bit on Friday, like I tried to be productive and it was kind of nice. We've been talking about some of our, you've been working in your garage. I've got a very long project in my basement. I was doing it, didn't feel as pressured, which is kind of nice. Yesterday, I was working out. I was lifting. I was writing, and I didn't have the pressure of like having to get ready for the game. Not that I don't love that pressure, not that I don't love watching the game, but like I said, after 4 months, like okay, I'll take a couple hours back and like try and get some things done that I need to get done. So I missed football. I missed cheering. I'm still kind of going through a Lions sort of recovery. I was listening to my favorite podcasts, and it's hard listening to people talk about next season and the draft. And I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit yet. I'm not ready for this yet. So it wasn't
Yeah.
bad just to take a little time out from football.
Yeah, as soon as the Super Bowl ends, then they'll start talking about free agency.
Yeah,
Then they'll have the draft. I mean, there's still one open coaching position with the Saints. Fascinating to see where that goes. If Kellen Moore gets that head coaching job,
it's gonna
Andy,
be
which
Kellen Moore.
it looks like he's going to,
Yeah.
that's just a weird. I don't know.
Are you not a believer, Dave?
I'm not a believer, Andy, but let's see how it goes. But I watched some college lacrosse, Andy.
Yeah,
I like college lacrosse. There just weren't very many games. They call this week zero, and they do this in football, like college football too, where only some teams play, and it's not really week one. I'm like, fuck that. Like half the college teams were playing this weekend. It's not week zero. Just fucking call it week one. In
yeah,
college lacrosse tries to be this is lacrosse again trying to be like mainstream when they're really just not. The games are, you have to find them on ESPN Plus or some other streamer and it's usually the college broadcasting group that's
yeah,
that's covering it. So it's it's just never going to be where it is. But I enjoy the hell out of college lacrosse. I enjoy watching it. So I had some fun with that. But yeah, it was a quiet weekend. I think for me, I was able to get some things done as well, and tried to survive. There was a big though NBA trade, Andy, this weekend.
yeah.
There's
Huge.
a couple big trades. One last night, but the biggest one was Luka Doncic. Andy
Yeah,
was he's one of the top two or three players in the NBA. He was traded to Los Angeles Lakers um for Anthony Davis, the center for the Los Angeles Lakers. He won a title in Los Angeles with LeBron. Uh, Most notably, like Anthony Davis is not Luka Doncic, and they pretty much were traded straight up for one another.
yeah,
The NBA trades have been really weird. It's like some of these players get traded for like three or four first round draft picks and
yeah.
all this other stuff. This was pretty much a straight up deal. There was like a couple things on the back end, but man, like Dallas had a superstar and they pretty much gave him up for a lesser play.
Peanuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the team's Dallas is going through some big changes, right? I mean, from the sale
Yep.
and on, and Luka's just been playing. I mean, there's constantly been so much talent in LA. I mean, there's always big names in LA, and you're adding another really big one, and he's been successful, right? And maybe not the most loved player in the NBA. Some people love him, some people hate him. Some people, but he's done well. He's done very well, and I think it's a big deal for Los Angeles Lakers. Now we'll see what happens, right? Sometimes you bring too many big names together, it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, both LeBron and Luca like to have the ball in their hands a lot. So
Yeah,
who's gonna be the primary ball handler there?
yeah,
I just find this interesting. Now, there's obviously there's a lot of things that are coming out. It's usually the day or two after. There's the local media group will come out with like a hit piece, like, yeah, the reasons why the Mavericks traded a generational player was because he drank too much beer or he smoked too many. Like, I was like,
there's something.
he wasn't in shape enough or
Yeah,
whatever. So like that's I don't know. Do you get to the point of frustration? This guy took you to the NBA finals last year and now all of a sudden he's traded. It seems a little wild to me, but I guess we'll see how it plays out here, Andy. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it, sports move on, right? They're getting ready for their season. That's what happens here. Dave, speaking of sports, sliding to sports entertainment, do you end up watching the Royal Rumble this weekend? I know you talked about it.
oh, did I, Andy? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it Saturday night. My daughter had a sleepover with somebody else, so I wanted to watch it with her. But we watched the Royal Rumble on Saturday. It was Sunday yesterday. We watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
It's fun. I just enjoy what I enjoy is there's 30 people that come out over every 2 minutes. So it starts with two wrestlers and then every 2 minutes out from there. What I enjoy is when when that 2 minute mark to see who's coming out because you don't know until you hear their walk-up music. And look, 30 wrestlers, everyone was like, well, there's so many it's really not. There's usually like 8 to 10 like superstar wrestlers on the boys and girls or the men and women.
yeah,
And then there's like everybody else. And just to see sometimes, like there are a lot of surprises, people who came back for they've been away or injured.
yeah,
I just love seeing that kind of stuff. And then see how some people, like one guy came in and he was in for like 10 seconds. He came in and then immediately got thrown out. And so that was kind of fun. So,
yeah,
but I enjoyed it. There was some crazy, like there was a ladder match between Dusty Rhodes, or I'm sorry, not Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes,
yeah. He was
um,
dad.
and Kevin Owens. I swear to you, like, look, I know it's scripted and I know they work through all that stuff, but what is not scripted is them actually like
The punch.
slamming each other
Yeah,
into ladders and like jumping off of 10 feet high things and in like there were some things that happened in that match, Andy, that I was like, there's no way that guy's walking again.
yeah.
Now I'm sure their bodies are super sore and but like holy hell, that was a crazy. So
Yeah, I think it's fun, and their bodies definitely take a big hit. Doing those performances. I've been watching. I just started recently, Dave, Mr. McMahon, which is a fascinating look at the WWE. Maybe we'll say that for another time. But hey, there's sports entertainment. There's the Grammys. Just entertain us, America. Just entertain us.
just entertain us. So let's keep with that theme, Andy. On entertainment, my wife and I watched the movie Conclave this weekend. It's about a pope dying and the politics behind selecting the next pope. A fascinating movie, like really, really well done. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like suspenseful or like over the top, but it was a darn good movie, and I think it's getting some award nominations. So I thought that was a pretty good movie. But I want to talk about another actor, Andy. I was also watching, I think maybe it was Friday night, I was flipping through the cable channels and A Few Good Men came up, Andy.
Yeah,
This is like I do really enjoy this movie. So many great scenes in it, so many great lines in it that you remember. And I want you to sit there in that faggoty white uniform and extend me some fucking courtesy. Like
classic.
those are like there's some lines in that movie you just can remember. But it got me thinking about Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise did some amazing acting,
Yeah,
and now all he's really known for is his Mission Impossible movies. So I remember when the first Mission Impossible came out, I really enjoyed it. The second one was kind of a dud, and then it took a huge break, but then he's been on like a heater with these Mission Impossible movies that it makes you forget about all the good movies that he did before. Where are you at on your Tom Cruise scale, Andy?
I mean, he's annoying, I
Yeah.
mean, Tom Cruise is annoying, but he's been in some like really good movies, some really good movies, some maybe not so good, but just fun movies. There have been a lot of crap ones too, but there, I mean, if he goes back, he came out in '81, right? Same year I got to this country, and he just started banging out movie after movie after movie, and some of them are classics. I think like people don't even remember. I mean, like you go back to The Outsiders, right?
Yeah.
A great story, great movie, ended up becoming a book, a movie, ended up becoming a TV series for a while. You go back to, I mean, obviously Top Gun, which what 30 years later got its sequel, but I mean, you mentioned A Few Good Men already. I mean, there's just so many. Jerry Maguire. I mean, there's just so many that he was just so well known for and did a great job in.
Yeah. Cocktail, Days of
Yeah,
Thunder,
yeah,
Interview with the Vampire.
yeah.
Like he did some crazy ones, Eyes Wide Shut with Nicole Kidman and Magnolia. Like I even go back, I mean, there was but like Tropic Thunder, Andy, when he played the movie producer, and he has some lines in that movie that like go fuck your face or something. Like it's just like unbelievable scenes in that movie, and he does such an amazing job. Like he was Jack Reacher most recently
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
But right now, if you ask people who Tom Cruise is known for, they would say Top Gun and Mission Impossible. And I think it really is like what a shame because he did so many great roles. I mean,
yeah,
you mentioned Jerry Maguire. Like he actually had to act in these movies. And it wasn't just all stunts or things like that. I mean, he did real acting in that movie.
yeah.
And I worry that it gets lost on the thing. Look, Tom Cruise is super annoying. I mean, that
Let's
like
not forget that. Let's not
let's
forget
not
that.
forget that. He's super weird, the Scientology stuff, the jumping on the couch with Oprah Winfrey, his marriage to
Yeah.
whatever, Katie Holmes. That's super weird. I mean, let's not deny that. But man, he's a great actor too. Apparently, Andy too, he makes this bread that he sends around to people in Hollywood for Christmas. Like it's like if you're on the Tom Cruise bread chain, like that's pretty amazing. So
I guess
it
is that
just
part of his like Scientology recruitment, or like him and John Travolta making bread and like passing it out to people for the holidays, like you'd pass out cookies? Is that what's happening?
it's wrapped in like Scientology quotes or something to that effect. All good stuff there. So yeah, I was watching it because I was like, man, he was a really good actor, and now he's just a really good daredevil. He loves that extreme stuff, and so I don't know. Maybe I had to take a look at the filmology and look at it. I mean, he's made some duds in there too, of course, but
Show me the money, Dave. No, that
oh
wasn't
yeah,
him, yeah, exactly, but it was from the movie. I mean, it was he's done a lot. He's done a lot, and I think he's changed. He has become really known as an action star, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
really what people know him for. But I think he was so much more than that, and he was like one of America's heartthrobs for a long time. Now that he's 85 plastic surgeries in, he's trying to still look like he did when he was 22. You know, do what you want, Tom Cruise, but thanks for entertaining America.
It is amazing. He does look exactly the same as he did earlier. Um, okay, Andy, on the movie front, I think we're just all waiting until Captain America: Brave New World comes out. There's
Yeah.
really not much in the box office. There was the one cartoon that came out this weekend, Dog Man, which is a popular kids book that they made in the movie. It did very well this weekend. Otherwise, just really not a whole lot until again, Captain America comes out, Brave New World. I don't know. Other than that, I not much exciting me on the movie front, Andy.
Well, Dave,
So
as you mentioned your Pope movie, I think I ended up watching a movie with one of the same actors, I believe. So I was on a three-win streak in my home of having picked three good movies in a row. My wife was very impressed with my ability to select good movies that entertained us. And that streak came to a somewhat end this weekend when we watched The Menu on Netflix, which not that it was a bad movie. It was a deliberately quirky movie, but as it finished, we were just like, huh. I think my streak is over. I think my winning streak is over. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It did entertain. I would rather have done something else during that time. But it was, it served its purpose. It wasn't bad. And I think, I don't know the gentleman's name that plays, I'm guessing he's a cardinal in the movie that you saw. But
yeah,
I think it's the same guy, same guy. And he's,
Ralph Fiennes. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and he's strange and quirky, and it's not, like I said, not a bad movie, just a different movie. So like be prepared for something else when you watch it.
Yeah, I think I recall seeing something about this, and I do feel like there's that twist about it a little bit about
Yeah,
what actually is on the menu, right? I mean,
yeah.
so now this had a movie in that movie, Nicholas Holt is in that. He's an interesting character. Did you ever see the show Catherine the Great?
I did not.
Okay, so that was about I think it was Tsar Nicholas or one of the czars in Russia, and who's just a like batshit fucking crazy. And Nicholas Holt played this he played the Tsar and really great great character in there. Obviously, it's about Catherine the Great in the marriage there, but really funny at all. So, and anyway, okay, Andy, that's we took you through. We did a lot of pop culture today. That was
Yeah,
fascinating.
it was nice not to talk about the absolute madness that's happening in our nation's capital because there's a lot to talk about there. But we'll save that. I'm sure we'll get to that, Dave. So
But
nice to take a break.
what could be going on there? Tariffs, Doge, getting access to sensitive information. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're
Nothing,
talking
nothing. Just common stuff. Just a coup. Usual stuff.
Just the usual stuff in working from within there, Andy.
Yeah,
So fascinating stuff. Maybe we can talk a little bit about it on Wednesday. I don't particularly want to, but
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, with that, I will catch up with you on Wednesday then.